So now starting with the header source file. So first function is our INA219 initialize. In the INA219 initialize, the first thing which we will do, we will initialize our I2C peripheral. So for that I have called a function I2C master underscore initialize, which does nothing but it just configures my pin for the I2C, and the pins which I am using are PB10 and PB11. So it initializes them as an alternate function and configures them for the I2C. And I have said and this function initializes my I2C peripheral for corresponding clock and its corresponding bits. Then next thing which we are doing is set, like in the calculation of my calibration register, we have get the value of calibration register, and from it we have also calculated the current LSB and the power LSB. So I'm just created the two variables by the name of float, because these resolution of current and power will be used for calculation of my power and the current readings. So like as you can see over here from the data sheet, that in our this power register and the current register, we have to multiply the full scale range and LSB are set by calibration register, records power in watts by multiplying the values of current with the values of the bus voltage according to the equation 5. Okay, and current register also works on the same way with the calibration register, and whatever the value we will be getting from the current register and the power register, we have to multiply. And now as it's an ADC value, it will be like it's in a digital value converted from the ADC, so we have to convert it, multiply it by the number of resolution of its ADC of our current and power, and that's current and power resolution which we have calculated are as 0.002 for power and 0.0001 for current. Okay, so that is what I have just initialized my current and the power LSB or the resolution. And then I have evaluate my calibration value as 4096. Okay, as I have told in the first video of in its previous video. Okay, now here another thing to remember is that INA219 has 16 bits, has registers of 16 bits. Okay, but for I2C communication we will be needing only 2 bits, like we can send at a byte at a time to 8 bit. Okay, so what we are doing when we are reading, when we will be writing the data bytes on a INA219 module, so first we will send the high byte and then we will send the low byte from 15 to 8 bits first and then 0 to 7 bits. So that is what I have done over here. Calibration value is 4096, so convert it into the high byte, okay, by the cast typing, okay, from UIN8 underscore T to the UIN8 16 underscore T. Okay, and then in the calibration value variable, I have right shifted to the 8 byte so that I only get the low byte of my value. Okay, so that is how I get my calibration value and divide it into 2 bytes, high byte and the low byte. And then in the I2C session we have done the simple start the I2C session for the write, send the I2C address with the write bit. Okay, then I have sent the calibration value address. Okay, so calibration register address is being sent, and then simply first the high byte is sent and then the low byte is sent. Okay, and then in the end this stop generation for ending this particular session. Same way out in the configuration value also, first I have calculated the configuration value like a configuration register value from a variable this, and I have defined the macros in the header file. So the macros which I want to use according to the functions and the features which I want to use. So I am using the bus voltage as 32 voltage and gain as 8 gain, and 322 millivolt is my PGA range, the current amplifier range, and the INA215 both shunt and the bus ADC resolution is 12 bit. Okay, and then I am using the mode in continuous mode. Okay, so just ORing all these macros, so I will get a corresponding value of my configuration variable, and then I am just converting it into the high byte and low byte and then sending them via I2C as I have done for the calibration. as in our I2C session of our INA 2191 of like one I2C session consists of the simple this start bit, and then we will be like, this is for the write format, okay, and this is for the read format. So that's what all I have done for in the initialization function. Then in the bus voltage, so in the bus voltage first we will be calculating the first, like now we have to read the bus voltage value. So first by the I2C session we will go to the bus voltage address. So first sending the start condition, the I2C address and the address of my bus voltage register, okay, and then stop condition. Now my I2C is at the address of this bus voltage register. Now I will again start the I2C session and send the I2C address with the read bit for INA 219 and read the 2 bytes from the register which was left first, okay, in this session. So reading the 2 bytes, high byte and low byte, stop the generation. In the high byte I get the value. Now here again, as I have told you, INA 219. Now for reading also, like it's an 16 bits register, we will be getting the 16 bit value. We want to get the 16 bit value from the bus voltage, okay. So like, because our bus voltage and the shunt voltage, current voltage, all these will be having the 16 bit value for reading it. So we will first read the high byte. So in the high byte has got the 15 to 8 bits. Then I will left shift my high byte and then OR it with the low byte from 0 to 7 bits, and the final value which I will get on the RET is the total 16-bit binary value. Now converting that 16-bit binary value into the float value so that it can be read to a corresponding value for the bus voltage. So now in the bus voltage my first 3 bytes are here, bus voltage. In this my first 3 bytes are to be ignored, for those will not be of a reading. So first I have just left shift the 3 bytes so that my these 3 bits are left, okay, are being left over, and then I have multiplied the raw value or the binary or the decimal value, which you can say, by the multiplier, okay, multiply by the LSB, okay, that is into 0.004 as specified in the data sheet of the INA 219, and then print the float value on the bus of the bus voltage. Same way out for the shunt voltage also. Same way out for the shunt voltage, we will first send the address of shunt voltage register and then read the 16 bits from that register. So first, like I have sent the INA 219 write address with write bit, then the shunt voltage address stop bit. Then for reading it with the write condition, then the write address, the address with the read bit, okay, and then reading the 16 bits on the first high byte and the low byte, stop generation. Then in the RET variable, okay, variable for storing the 16 bit, I get the high byte first, like equated to my high byte, and then left shift the high byte by 8, then OR it, and then with the low byte. So in the final RET, I will get the total shunt voltage reading of my from my INA 219. Okay. So here is a shunt voltage. So the shunt voltage also, it's LSB, like the RET value, the raw value which we will be reading from the 16 bits. Okay, so that is saved in the RET and then multiply it with its LSB. And for the, it is mentioned it is 10 microvolt, so it is 0.01, okay, 0.01. So multiplying it with and then printing the float value. So in the shunt register, if you will see in the data sheet, so it has PGA functions as /8/4, like different, and you can read these things from the data sheet for better understanding. In the shunt current, same way out, first sending the shunt resistor address and then reading the 2 bytes, high byte and low byte, and then ORing them and getting the total RET value as 16 bits. And then in the shunt current register, we will multiply the raw value of 16 bits by the current LSB, and then I am converting it into milliamperes by the multiplication of 1000 and then printing them on the terminal screen. Same way out for the load power also. Load power, as I have told you in the shunt, for the current and power we have to mention the current LSB and power LSB. So in the power here also, for sending the power register address, okay, and then reading the 2 bytes from the power register, high byte and low byte. Okay, high byte has 15 to 7, and then 15 to 8, and then low byte from 0 to 7, and then the power LSB. Okay, multiplied by power LSB into 1000 for getting the value in the millivolts. Okay, so that's all that we have to write on how to write the INA219 driver. In the main function, I am doing the simple. I have just called the INA219 my header file. Okay, and then in the main function and in that while, I have just first call my INA219 initialize function. Okay, and the necessary functions for system initialize, timer initialize, UART initialize, and these are for my SW debug. Okay, and then inside the while loop, I am doing the simply calling the INA219 bus voltage, shunt current, and load power, and making them print on the terminal screen. Okay, so let's just upload the program into my microcontroller. Okay, so it is getting built and it shows without any errors and any warnings, and then it is getting inside a microcontroller. So now it is successfully uploaded. Now let's just open the terminal screen, and these are the values which we are getting. So basically what I have connected with the, across my at my load. Okay, I have connected the DC fan, and via the source I am making it power. Now as you can see, my bus voltage is 14.08, and here at the power supply it is showing almost 14.8. The some voltage is drop. Okay, but that some voltage is being dropped because of the circuit. Okay, and now if I vary the voltage, okay, my fan speed decreases, so does my voltage also decreases. Okay, as you can see over here. Okay, shunt voltage decreases, my current also decreases, showing it around 49 milliampere or 50 milliampere, 57 milliampere, and it is almost as accurate as it is showing in the terminal screen. Okay, so that's it for the video. Okay, this 0 is showing because my ground jumper wire is like mistakenly get out. Okay, so like this is the driver which we have developed. Okay, so this is the driver which we have developed for the INA219, creating its header file and source file, and then printing the data on the terminal screen. Okay, so that's it for now. I hope guys you get to learn about some things. You get to know about INA219 and how to write its driver. In the next couple of videos, we will be starting with some new thing and some writing driver for the new module and new sensor. So for till then, stay safe, stay happy. Do subscribe to the channel. For any doubts, do ask your in the comment section, or you can contact me at by the Get to Byte. So that's it for now. Like the video, subscribe the channel, and press the bell icon to get notified for new videos, and share it with your friends.